volunteers inspire the compassionate givings of impoverished villagers in Sandakan, Malaysia. Tzu Chi staff members and volunteers participate in a pilgrimage for the upcoming Tzu Chi 53rd anniversary. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. It's been 1 month since Cyclone Idai devastated Mozambique. Many affected residents are trying to rebuild their houses. However, they're lacking in building materials. So the volunteers continue their disaster relief mission in Tica Village. By providing construction materials, volunteers hope to help the affected residents rebuild their homes.
The trees are all uprooted and the ground is still muddy. Tzu Chi volunteers in Mozambique continue their disaster relief mission in the Tica Village. During the assessment, volunteers came across a little girl's house.
She lives with her mother and sister in this house over here. As for her grandmother and aunties, all of them live in that house over there.
This little girl lived in a house made of mud and bamboo sticks, which couldn't withstand the heavy rain from cyclone. As for her grandmother's house, it was also badly damaged. 1 month after the disaster, in order for the local villagers to head back home, they needed to find ways to rebuild their own houses.
Here we can see the side of the house had collapsed, and the villagers said that they have been rebuilding it all by themselves. When I passed by, I saw this young man cutting reeds by the water. I am not sure whether it was a river or a lake. Then I asked him why was he cutting the reeds. He told me it was going to be used for building the house with. I also asked him how long does it take for the reeds to dry. He said it will take about a week's time for it to be ready.
At the moment, there are many people in Tica Village trying to rebuild their homes, but for now, they are lacking in many crucial building materials. Therefore, they have to find ways to search for the supplies themselves.
Did you see the pile of charred wood over there? The villagers will put the molded bricks into the charred wood and let it burn until it is ready for use.
The villagers are making their own building materials. This is why the construction process is going quite slow. However, the thought of being able to go back home, once again, the villagers will do anything for it.
For now, this family of 4 lives in this makeshift shelter made out of straw mats and plastic bags. After the disaster, these affected villagers went back to their original houses and attempted to pick up whatever items that were still usable.
Besides assessing the villagers' current living conditions, volunteers also visited a local elementary school.
When the cyclone came, the roof was blown away, and about a week ago, an organization provided the school with this big plastic tarp, helping them to cover up the rooftop. This way, the students can still temporarily study in the school even if it's raining outside.
Although the villagers are facing immense difficulties, they didn't give up on themselves. Whether it's the adults or children, all of them have shown their resiliencies for life, and with courage, they will keep moving forward on this long road toward recovery.
In Malaysia, Tzu Chi volunteers have arrived at a remote village in Sandakan. Most of the villagers live in poverty, but when they heard about the affected residents in Eastern Africa, many of them showed their love. Their compassionate giving deeply touched the volunteers.
Sandakan Tzu Chi volunteers have arrived at the local remote village. The volunteers have introduced Tzu Chi to each household. They invited the residents to accumulate love to help people in need. When the residents heard about the disaster damages in Eastern Africa, many of them have shown their love.
Here we have food to eat, but over there they have no food and no access to water. So we must help them. No matter how much love you had dropped, we just have to help them.
If we have the ability to help them, we will. Making a small donation is something that all of us can do. As a Muslim, we will go to the mosque and make donations and pray for peace and prosperity for all.
Most of the villagers work as a part-time, although they don't have much, but all of them have a heart of compassion. This time, volunteers have accumulated $40 from the villagers.
I feel happy that I can help those who suffer, because we've been through many hardships in life as well. This is why we understand the affected residents' feelings.
Many of them live a difficult life. However, they still want to help those in need. I am deeply touched by their love.
As one can see, love has no boundaries. Despite their living conditions, the villagers still want to do their part to help those in need. Their compassionate giving is something worth learning.
In the Philippines, another group of Tzu Chi scholarship recipients are graduating from college. While many of them are ready to enter the workforce, some of them are preparing for tests to become government employees. They're all pursuing dreams and a brighter future.
Pangarap natin wala ng bata sa kalsada na hindi nag-aaral. Sana lahat ay makatapos ng pag-aaral para magkaroon ng magandang trabaho at matulungan ang mga pamilya nila upang umunlad pa sila lalo.
In the graduation season in the Philippines, Tzu Chi scholarship recipients in Greater Manila and Bohol Island have graduated from college.
Time flies too fast, and these graduating students will eventually face the real world out there full of challenges.
Vivian, who has asthma, cherishes the Tzu Chi scholarship that was given to her. She used to walk for 2.5 kilometers every day to go to college. Now she has graduated from Bohol Island State University with outstanding performance.
For supporting me, not just in financial way, but also in my moral aspect. Kaya wala lang nila develop po nila into who I am today.
Ako si Vicenta Villarrejo.
I'm so happy to see my daughter graduate from college that I do not know what to say. Now she can pursue her dreams. My sacrifices have been worthwhile.
Malipayon ko, patisong anak. Buutan man po siya.
Another student, Anthony, has also graduated from college with outstanding academic performance. She wants to apply what she learned and become a custom house officer so she can support her family.
I plan to find a job first and prepare for the test of custom house officers. I know the tests are very difficult, but I believe that God and my family will give me the biggest support.
I'm grateful for Tzu Chi. My daughter is my pride and source of happiness.
Having suffered from poverty, they have risen above life's challenges and pursued their dreams as well as a brighter future. The Tzu Chi La Romana School not only gave children a chance to study, but also offered an adult class to increase literacy. One administrative secretary, Marcia, was so inspired by the program that she became a certified Tzu Chi volunteer.
From the first adult education class graduation ceremony, there were many people who were lost because of drug abuse or youth spent drinking in a bar. If they were taken out of this environment and given education and the chance at redemption and also learn about the meaning of life, there is a kind of satisfaction can't be described.
The school is quite busy on the weekend, as a group of adult students come here because they have to work during the week. The main thing for me is to learn Spanish.
Both mathematics and literacy are important. For example, many use a mobile phone to send messages. If you can read or return a message, this means you can communicate with other people.
Since the establishment of an adult education class, Marcia has been an important promoter.
After children from the Tzu Chi Elementary School went home, parents couldn't help them do their homework. We really hope that these parents could become educated.
With the assistance of Tzu Chi, there are more than 1,000 students at the school in La Romana, including elementary, middle school, and adult education.
What is important is that they can teach their children, do homework together, go to the supermarket to buy things, and even sign a contract. These are skills that can't be bought with money.
Knowing the power of education, Marcia pursued her studies all the way to a master's degree. With her higher education, she did more promotion in the community, encouraging more people to keep studying. Miguelina has 2 children, with the youngest daughter attending the 2nd grade at the Tzu Chi school.
My mom is also studying, and she helps me with my homework.
You know, when a woman has a child, it is very difficult to do other things. When the child is a little older, I told myself that I can't wait any longer. I'm going to school.
hablar con mi mamá. Bueno, él es uno de mis profesores.
After school, at this table, both mother and daughter are studying together. They're also eagerly looking forward to the future.
Quisiera ser magisterio, maestra.
I hope to be a primary school teacher in the future. I want to teach small children under the 4th grade.
De cuarto para abajo. Liso.
Mula.
La.
Catalina Mota works at the elementary school. She is 69 years old, and 4 years ago, she graduated from a literacy class. She now knows how to use the internet to find information, as her horizons have been greatly expanded.
Reading is very important because it can allow me to access more people's knowledge. My horizon has expanded and we get a clear look at things. When I go to a roadside shop to buy something, they can't lie to me. If they do the wrong calculation, then I'll tell them to give me more money back. But if they give me too much, then I'll refund it.
20 years ago, more than 80% of adults were illiterate. After 20 years, this figure is now only 10%. The Tzu Chi adult education class is now a successful model for other communities to follow.
In anticipation of the upcoming 53rd anniversary of Tzu Chi, staff members from Tzu Chi's humanitarian culture mission and worldwide volunteers have returned to the Jing Si Abode to participate in a pilgrimage. Since it rained before the pilgrimage was about to begin, many volunteers quickly mopped the grounds dry for the participants. Amidst the Buddhist chantings, the pilgrimage participants walk for 3 steps before prostrating. In the hot and humid weather, a doctor who's participating in the pilgrimage for the very first time has learned a lot.
Our bodies were a bit worn out, however, it made us realize that the saints and sages in Buddhism had worked very hard for Buddhism in the earlier days.
In comparison, former Minister of Transportation and Communications Cai Dui participates in the pilgrimage every year. Despite being more than 70 years old already, he maintains good health by exercising regularly. Therefore, his pilgrimage moves are very accurate.
I think participating in the pilgrimage reaffirms our initial aspirations. Of course, we also hope that Dharma Master Zheng Yan can always be here to give us guidance. But his teachings are profound, we still have a lot to learn.
However, it rained just right before the pilgrimage was about to begin, and the ground was soaking wet. Therefore, the Joseon volunteers immediately rushed all over to mop the grounds dry.
Since the pilgrimage was about to start, everyone was working hard to mop the wet ground. If we can dry up the path where they will be kneeling, their clothing won't get wet during the procession.
This time, 100 staff members from Tzu Chi's humanitarian culture mission have also participated in the pilgrimage with their families. They seized the occasion to purify their minds, as well as praying for all of humanity. In Malaysia, a Tzu Chi long-term care recipient was the focus of spotlight when she was young, but later she has been diagnosed with kidney disease and had to undergo dialysis. She has no children supporting her and can't afford the cost of dialysis. Tzu Chi volunteers learned about her situation and began to subsidize the cost of dialysis.
云中月，高高在上。 高挂天边，声走掉了。
I'm out of tune. On Malaysia's first Independence Day, that night, I was representing the Chinese to sing this song. I felt very proud. I have been undergoing dialysis for over 5 years. I only knew I'm a dialysis patient after coming here. My arms are weak now. I have to hold onto the railing to climb the stairs. I ascend and I descend the stairs slowly like a child.
其实 什么人都没有参了，参朋友参到我心都碎了。
I've stopped socializing because it pains me. I don't really trust others, I trust myself more. I don't know if this is right. I was due to be discharged in 2 days. One of Tzu Chi volunteers named Tzu Chi visited me twice.
他去过2次。
我们的师姐有去医院找他了，跟他谈了。
师姐，来一下。后来我觉得。
Eventually, I felt she is sincere in helping me. I told myself not to fear. There's no need to avoid her.
She was under the care of the KL hospital. The hospital later referred her to Tzu Chi, but she rejected us at first.
Then I accepted her help. I appreciate her. I don't remember how many times that she's helped me.
他不能够开，要帮他开了哦，放置。
Her living conditions are okay because she's living on a pension, but she can't afford the dialysis fees, so we subsidize her with dialysis fees. We also offer her dinner if she has nothing to eat. She will ring me up, I will attend to her. I will help her buy the daily necessities she needs in her life. We want to help the elders. In case something happens, no one really knows. Whenever we receive her call, we'll check on her.
人生啊，我看得多。
I have lived long enough. It turns out that there is such warmth in the world. If I have something needing help, she will come to me.
困难她都可以帮我。
We'll accompany her to the end of the old age. She has entrusted us with her funeral arrangements. In addition to straws, plastic bags also create pollution. Many stores in Taiwan have stopped giving out free plastic bags. However, in 2017, the plastic bags that city recycling stations in Taiwan had collected surpassed 4 million kilograms. In our next report, we'll take you to Xinzhuang Recycling Station to learn more about this problem.
The volunteers very quickly separate the plastic bags around them. All these are full styrofoam sleeves, and they take up 50% of recyclables every month in Xinzhuang Recycling Station. They take up the most amount among all the plastic bags.
Look at this one, it's dirtier, so we cut out the dirty part and keep the clean part.
All these full styrofoam sleeves are made with polyethylene, but you can't directly recycle them because you must separate them further. These polyethylene bags must be subdivided into colored ones and white ones. Even dirty ones and clean ones must be divided.
You can get higher prices for clean ones and less money for dirty ones. But if the dirty ones are wet or not clean, the factory doesn't want them either. So we'll take the dirty ones upstairs to dry them.
We've gone through these the second time so we can pour them down.
These dirty fruit styrofoam sleeves don't need to be washed. If they are laid out even under the canopy, they will become dry in 2 to 3 days, and the volunteers collect as many as 130,000 kilograms of plastic bags every year.
All our plastic bags, including the fruit styrofoam sleeves, come from factories and companies. Their amount increases continuously because of economic development.
The volunteers indicated that to reduce plastics, the government must also include the use of plastics by industries and farming sectors, and come up with ways for these sectors to replace plastics with something else. And if the general public can also reduce their use of plastic bags, the plastics can truly be reduced.
The Taichung Flora Expo will end on April 24, 2019. Each exposition has entered its final countdown as well. As April 22nd is the Earth Day, city volunteers of the Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion have held a vegetarian picnic.
At the Flora Expo, the children of all ages enjoy the recycling quiz. The volunteers are inviting the visitors to learn more about environmental protection. When going outside, this grandma and her family members don't use disposal utensils often.
When we go out, we'll bring our own eco-friendly utensils. The adults and children will bring their own water bottles as well.
On the other hand, the Jing Si drum team members went around the site and invited the visitors to reduce the usage of plastics as well as recycle their waste. In addition, they can write down their goals onto the board.
I believe recycling can bring love into the world. We should reduce the usage of plastic bags.
As the Taichung Flora Expo will soon end, Tzu Chi volunteers conducted a vegetarian picnic at the plaza.
Although the Flora Expo is coming to an end, the environmental concepts will continue to be spread all around. Tzu Chi's mission of culture and environmental protection will be passed down to one another.
The eco-friendly picnic map is designed and made by one of the Jing Si drum team members who studies fashion design at school.
I used rice bags to make a picnic mat. I chose the colors of green, yellow, and white. The design is very simple.
Here, this self-defense training coach is also a vegetarian.
After becoming a vegetarian, both my physical strength and immune system became stronger.
The Taichung Flora Expo will end in April 24, 2019. For those who haven't visited the Humanitarian Ecotech Pavilion, don't miss the last chance to gain a valuable experience at the pavilion.
To celebrate Earth Day, Penghu Tzu Chi volunteers have invited Tainan volunteers to go to Penghu and promote vegetarianism. Tainan volunteers provided delicious vegetarian food to the community residents and also introduced the spirit of Tzu Chi's bamboo bank era to them. Tzu Chi volunteers have led the community residents to do some simple exercises. The volunteers from Tainan have traveled to Penghu to promote the benefits of adopting a vegetarian diet.
We want to share with them the concept of good health and environmental protection. The seniors also think that vegetarianism is important. Therefore, they hope that Tzu Chi volunteers can come very often to prepare tasty vegetarian food for them.
In fact, many people adopt a vegetarian diet on the 1st and 15th of the month. Therefore, we hope that we can go to different places in Magong City so that Tzu Chi volunteers' footprints reach every borough.
The community seniors and residents enjoy the vegetarian food. They've realized that a change of eating habits can help save the environment.
We've learned more about environmental protection. People now know how to love the earth and reduce the amount of garbage.
Tzu Chi volunteers also encourage the participants to save up to help the less fortunate people. As long as everyone's willing to reach out, the disaster-affected residents in the world can get the much-needed help. To help the affected residents in Eastern Africa, Tzu Chi Guiren Recycling Station in Tainan has held a charity toy fair. The participants were surprised to see that all the toys were made with recycled materials. This charity event also echoed with Earth Day, which happens to be today. Thank you for joining us. Happy Earth Day. Goodbye.